Hi, welcome to another Power BI video. Power BI Desktop is a free application you install on your local computer that lets you connect, transform, and visualize your data. With Power BI Desktop, you can connect to multiple different sources of data and combine them into a data model. This data model lets you build visuals and collections of visuals you can share as reports with other people inside your organization. Most users who work on business intelligence use Power BI Desktop first to create their reports and then use Power BI Service to share the reports with others. The most common uses for Power BI Desktop are as follows. First is connect to data. Next is transform and clean that data to create a data model. Next is create visuals such as charts or graphs that provide visual representations of that data. Next is create reports that are collections of visuals on one or more report pages. Lastly is to share reports with others by using the Power BI service. First, you may download Power BI Desktop for free. You may search download Power BI Desktop on Google, then click the link from Microsoft. Here you can download Microsoft Power BI tools and app, but for now, let's go ahead and click for the desktop version. You may choose between two options. If you click here on the download option, it will redirect you to the Microsoft Store. And for the second option, you may also click for the advanced download option if you are having trouble installing the app from the Microsoft Store. If you click this option, it will redirect you to this download center where you can choose between 32 and 64-bit. Choose whatever may fit to your device. I already have mine, so I don't have to download it. After successfully installing the app, a shortcut key will appear. A shortcut key will appear on your desktop right here. Go ahead and click over it. Okay, here we go. This welcome screen will initially pop up, and you may get data on this side here. You can also open recently used report or open other reports that are not here. On the right side are some tutorials and news about updates and forums about Power BI. Let's pull up our data set, which is a churn file for a telecommunications company. We have here the loyalty ID, customer ID, the customer demographics, the tenure, the services offered by the company, contract, paperless billing, payment method, monthly and total charges, and the churn. Let us now load data to our report. Go to the File tab or under the Home tab to get data and choose the format of your source. We have a variety of format to choose from. Since we have Excel, we'll go ahead and choose that and get our dataset. If you don't have anything to change to your dataset, you may want to click the table and load your data. But if you want to change something, which in my case, I want to modify some, I click Transform Data and the Power Query Editor will appear. You may want to remove unnecessary columns on your dataset. You can do that by selecting your column that you want to remove and right click and choose remove. You can see that we have our steps recorded here on the applied steps pane, wherein you can remove it as well and undo the changes you've made. And since we want to remove this, we'll remove it again, just showing you that you can undo your steps by clicking this X button here. Another modification that I want to do is to create a new column based on monthly charges, wherein it will indicate that a customer is a VIP if the customer pays above 69, and it should indicate that the customer is not a VIP if the charge is below 70. We may do that by going ahead and click our Add Column button and choose Conditional Column. Here you may construct your conditions, since we want monthly charges that are greater than 69 to indicate yes, and other values as no. You can see the construction of the condition here is very simple, and you may also add clause if you want to, but since our main goal is to indicate if the customer is a VIP or not, we will delete this and settle with this condition for now. You can see that the column name is custom. We may change that by double clicking the column header and typing in our column name, VIP customer. Also rename our dataset here by double clicking the name and replacing it with the title that we want, customer churn. If you don't have any other modifications to do, you may go to the Home tab and close and apply. Here you can see that our dataset is loading. Okay. Now for the user interface. On the right side, you can see the fields pane where it contains the dataset that we modified earlier. Next is the visualization pane where it contains the visualization tools. The fields pane wherein you will put your values. The format pane where you can modify the appearance of your tools. On this big white canvas, this is the area that you'll put your visualization tool that would help you to analyze your data. On this left side is the report page where you can see all of these functions. Next is the data view wherein you can see and view your data set like an Excel file, on a table form rather, and on the model page wherein you can see the relationships of your dataset. Since you only have a single dataset, it doesn't show any relationship. The first thing we want to add is a title. We can do that by going to the Insert tab and clicking the text box button. Here you can type in the title that you want. And you can modify it by clicking on this tab and choosing the font style that you want and the font size that you need. You can also modify the size of the text box button, and when you move the text box button, you can see grid lines to follow so that you can align your tools easier. You can also modify your text box on this pane right here. You can add border and change its color and its ranges. Okay. And its alignment. Next is I want to know the total number of customers that we have. We can do that by dragging the customer ID on the canvas, or you can also click on this box right here and it will appear on the canvas. Then choose card as your visualization tool. You can see that it displays the first customer ID. You can change that here on the fields pane, and clicking the drop down menu we can select count so that it will display the total number of customers that we have. We can remove the category under the sum here by turning off the category label. And we can also add the title. Here is, let's put total customers. We can modify our title's color here on the font color, but I will settle for black, and its background color, its alignment, its size, and its font style. I'll leave it as that. And you can also change its size and place it wherever you want. You may click on the canvas page to unselect all the buttons on the fields pane and make another visualization tool. Next is we want to know the overall churn rate. We can do that by selecting churn and choosing KPI as our tool, and adding customer ID here on the indicator pane. We can go ahead and click the drop down menu, show as value, and choose percent of grand total. And I want it to be a whole number, so we'll go to the format button and click on the indicator, choose value decimal places and set it to 0. Next is I want to indicate the date, and let us remove the axis behind, and let's increase the text size. I also want to change the title to overall churn rate. We copy this visualizations format by clicking the format painter and clicking to whatever visualization you want to customize, and it will show the same modifications. Next is I want to show the tenure of our customers. We can go ahead and add tenure to our canvas. Next is our customer ID on the axis, and churn as the legend. You can see that the chart doesn't make any sense because our customer ID should be on the values box here. We can do that. Oh, let us remove the tenure first, then move the customer ID, and then put tenure on the axis. We want this to be a line chart. Let's go ahead and change it. And we want the colors to be the same as well. Okay. You can change the size and move your chart however you want, and you can follow these red lines that appear whenever you move your chart. Just follow that one here. Next is I want to change the title. The next thing I want to do is to add a slicer. Let's put churn on our canvas and select slicer. We can manually change it here on the format pane. The slicer header is different from the title. If I put here the title, it will appear above the slicer header. Since I don't like the appearance, I'll just remove it and turn off the title. If you click the yes here, it will show the customers who left and stopped using our services. If you click the no here, it will show the customers who stayed and still uses our services. Next, we want to insert a button which would reset any filter that we applied. You can put it here and put on the bottom text and put reset. Let us go to the View tab and click Bookmark and click Add to add one, and let us rename it as Reset. We will use this bookmark later for our action to the reset button we just made. Then look for the action property, and under the type, choose bookmark, and under bookmark, choose reset. And we can also add some tooltip which will appear once you hover above the reset button. We can also add a Q&A button which lets you explore your data in your own words. Again, modify its properties according to your preference. Also add an image to our report, and we can modify its scaling by normal, fit, or fill, however you'd like, and then just adjust the size. And we can also put some actions to it by turning on the action button, then changing its type to web URL, and you can paste your web URL on this web URL box. I happen to stumble upon a website that is exactly the same as our example here. So if you paste that there and control click the image, it will redirect you to the website that you pasted in the web URL box. We can also add a quick measure which has a variety of operations. We'll select the total for category, and let's get the total charges for our base value, and churn for category. Let's click OK. Then wait for it to load. After loading the quick measure, it will appear here on the fields pane. And let's just drag it to our canvas and select card as our visualization tool. And again, let's just make some modification for its appearance. We can also customize the tooltip. We can modify its text size, background and text colors. There is so much you can explore in the format button. You just have to check it out yourself. We can also modify our tooltip and display a visualization tool by adding a new page, going to the page information, clicking on tooltip, then going to page size and changing it to tooltip. Let us now create a visual, which in this case is a donut chart of the churn rate of our customers. Let us put the churn as the legend, then the count of customers as our values. I'll change it to percentage because percentage accounts into consideration the possible differences of our samples. Then I'll just modify the label style, its placement, and its colors. I also would like to change the title, after which we'll go back to page 1 and click our total customer card and proceed to tooltip. Change the type to report page and then choose page 2 that we just made. Now if we hover on the total customer card, the donut chart from page 2 will appear. We can also hide the page. Just right click on the tab you'd like to hide and select hide page. This page won't appear on the Power BI service when we publish it later. You can also rename the page by double clicking on the tab you'd like to rename and just type in the words that you want to put. We can also change the theme by clicking to the view tab and selecting the theme that you prefer, but I prefer mine this way. Now we can arrange our mobile layout for the Power BI mobile app, which we will show later. I'll just arrange my visuals real quick. This is how it will look on the app. Now we can publish our report to the Power BI service. This will prompt you to save your report first. If you haven't saved it already, then you'll choose a workspace, then click the link to open your report in the Power BI service. Here is our final output. You see that I have 34 days left for the 60-day trial of Power BI service. You can also share this report to your colleagues or to anyone inside your organization. Okay, here is our mobile view of the report. You can install Power BI mobile app in Play Store. And you can open your reports here anytime and anywhere, just as long as you have an internet connection. And that's it. I hope you learned something new from this video. Thank you!